Hi guys, hope everybody is doing really well. Today I've got a very interesting video. I've picked up a few very interesting little items, some very rare bahco items, and something off my good buddy Nash Rathbone from Rathbone Manor. So I'll show you Nash's first because it's definitely the most interesting. Now Nash went to his local car boot sale in the morning, and he bought a whole bunch of items for £10, and amongst them was this rather interesting spanner. This is made in Shroud, Gloucestershire, and it's the Buddings improved spanner, and it has a wedge design, and then you can wedge it up. Now it's had a maker, W Hodges or something, and you can see WH there is engraved on the end, and it's a very nice spanner for its age. This spanner dates from 1840, and it's very early. Now Buddings was in Shroud in Gloucestershire next to Clyburn, the original Clyburn company. Buddings' patent is this design, which you can see is very similar. This is a pre-designed to the Buddings improved spanner, which you do find these manufactured by Buddings and other companies. And then here there's a picture of a Buddings type spanner, but this one here is a very rare example indeed because it predates that, and it's a lovely spanner indeed. So thank you so much, Nash, for doing a little swapsy. Hopefully Nash is really happy with what he got. I certainly think this is a lovely thing. He's found some wonderful things over the years, Nash. He originally started collecting bahco tools, and he had a wonderful 113, which I swapped off him. But then Alex recently bought me a 114, which I just cleaned up, and a 113. So I sent that to Nash, and I've cleaned up the 114. I didn't clean up Nash's because I know he'll probably want to do that on his channel when he gets time. I also got, in the past, I got this wonderful Asprey, J. Asprey and Sons patent adjusting spanner. Now this is a really beautiful spanner. So Nash comes up with some wonderful things, and he's been kind enough to let me have this wonderful, well, this was actually for my friend Roger, but when I bought Roger's collection I ended up getting this Nash spanner, and this wonderful Buddings early design as well. So super happy with that. Thank you, Nash. I'll try and put a link below to Nash's channel. It's a wonderful pet channel, really lots of interesting reviews and great tool hauls, really good. Now the next thing I bought, which was very interesting to me, was this ratchet, early ratchet, and you can see here it works both ways. Now it's got a screw you can put a Tommy bar through to put pressure on the drill bit. So this is a very cool early ratchet. You could obviously use it potentially for turning a square nut on a steam engine, but it's mostly for drilling in tight spaces. And this is very early, probably dates from about 1900, and I picked that up recently and it's blinking heavy. Then I also picked up this rather nice British made patent Universal #1. Now I looked in my drawer, I thought, have I got a Universal spanner? I'm sure I've got one somewhere, and I'd looked, and I've got this Universal #2. So I'm guessing this is the earlier design and this is the later design. So it's nice to have example of both patents or both designs. I think I prefer this one with the ridge. It's got lovely markings in it, very nice, but you can see the heads are identical. So that was a nice thing I picked up recently. The next thing I picked up was this one, which I've not cleaned yet, which is an early patent adjustable spanner. This needs a good clean, which I will do at some point, and it's got the patent date. Now this one's in the spanner book, which is always nice to get a new spanner. I got this from Sweden, really nice, a Doidat, which is part of the bahco company. Here's a bahco equivalent, but they lent it out to Elora and other brands as well. But this is a wonderful bahco #29, and this is the equivalent. So this probably dates from about the early 40s. Very nice. I picked up this one from France. This is a little Clyburn, and I keep buying little Clyburn spanners. I thought I've never seen this design before, and then I looked in my drawer and I've got its younger brother. So it shows how observant I am, not the most observant. So this is a 6 and this is an 8-inch. Obviously the same. Really, really nice little design. But Clyburn there was lots of different designs. The original Clyburn, who designed it, Mr. Clyburn from Shroud, Gloucestershire. This is the original. This is the most common spanner in Britain. And this is from Buck and Hickman catalogue. But there's many other designs. We've got another similar one here, but this one is a Presto. Very, very similar little Clyburn design. Then we've just got forged steel ones with bigger head but a shorter handle. Now this one is similar to that one. This one is a Ghidorah foreign, small little guy. And then we've got here two more. We've got a J. Carter and Sons Manchester spanner, and then we've got this one here which doesn't have any markings, but you can see the different designs they had, but they're all slightly different, similar but slightly different. So that's always nice to have a new example of that. The next thing I bought is this from Sweden. This is a very, very rare wrench indeed. This is a bahco 469 chroma, and you notice it has a nut. You can turn a nut with the handle, and this is very early. This was only made for a few years in the early 30s, 40s, so that's why it's so desirable. I do have another one which I'll just get off the rack. This one here, which is a 472, you can see better, it's got the nut drive. So this is my second example of the bahco chroma. So it was really nice to add that to the set. Really lovely spanner this. Very, very rare because they just didn't make it for a long period. That's the reason why it's rare. So that's good, a second example. And that will go in the bahco video in October the 16th to see what I actually picked up this year. I also picked up this, which is I'm really happy with, off the same chap I got the Doid at from Sweden. Oh dear, sorry. This is a bahco Clyburn, but it has very unusual jaws. You see the jaws are stamped on both sides, and that makes this quite unusual, very early, and quite sought after. So I was really pleased to pick that up. I do have a couple of other bahco Clyburns, so I've got a good collection of these. This one is the rarest of them all because it has a pipe jaw, and this is a bahco 101, and then these are two bahco 71s. This one's in very good condition, and what makes this rare, it does have a stamped jaw as well. So 3 bahco Clyburns there, very, very cool indeed, super happy with that. And then here we've got 2 other types of bahco, which are the 81, and this one has the stamped jaw on both sides, which my friend Alex found, and this is the more common design. So I've got a good selection of those now, so I was super pleased with that. And then last but certainly not least, actually I've got one more thing to show you which I'm super pleased about. This is a bahco beer mat, and I'm teetotal, but that is a wonderful survivor of probably from the 1960s. Bahco beer mat, and we also have from the same period a Primus stove, which is part of Bahco Stockholm, Sweden beer mat. So I picked them up on eBay, and I'm going to save the maybe this is the best, second best till last, which is I'm going to show you now. So I managed to pick up an original from, you wouldn't believe it, actually Canada. This is a bahco Sweden number 1020 original 1920s display stand. I've got 2 which are reproductions which were made in Sweden, and these are reproductions made by a chap because they're so sought after you just can't find them. Somebody made a bunch of reproductions, but this one is an original. So the chap has done you can see all the rust and the original, but it's in excellent condition. I do have one of these, an original one, which is this one, which I've just took some spanners out of it to show you in the video, and this one is also a 1070, you'll see a 1020, but this one has a bit of damage in the bottom. You see it has a chunk out of the bottom, which is a shame. So this one is in even better condition. So I'm in two minds. Shall I paint it to more of an original green colour, or shall I leave it that colour with the gold? I'm in two minds. So yeah, this is an absolute beauty. So I'm looking forward to putting some nice spanners in it and showing it on display, and I might retire one of those reproduction ones. All right, so thanks for watching if you got this far. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Take care. Oh, thanks to Nash. Don't forget to check Nash's channel link below. It's a great channel. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.